Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waharakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, many blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect, the house of David, the Bayaf, that would die, for whom these epistles are written for in these last days. Shalom to the elect. So I wanted to go over a quick lesson. And see, like, this is a part of the Lord, you know, saying exactly what he would say or that he would do in these last times, that he would present a powerful country, a powerful kingdom in the last days, and that they would look to shock the world with the might and power that the Lord has blessed them with, and simultaneously he would allow this powerful kingdom to take down his treasured people, which is the Israelites. All right. And he would allow them to stay in captivity under this powerful kingdom for a certain amount of time. He also said that time would be short, and that devil who runs that, well, I gave it away, but that kingdom would eventually, all right, implode, all right, and be destroyed, all right, from external forces, all right, via nuclear weapons, right? So before he does this, the Lord, just like he did in ancient Egypt, he systematically ripped apart, all right, the kingdom, all right, from within. Okay, he used plagues, he used economic turmoil, he used political turmoil, he used the uproars of the people. He used all these different plagues, okay, to plague Egypt, and as he did, just like he did in Egypt, he's going to do here. Okay. So this is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." That's right. So that virgin daughter, meaning it has never been touched, okay, by a war, all right, from other countries from outside of America. Yes, you had the Civil War, but there's never been a country that touched down in this place, okay, and brought the war to these Americans, okay, and it's going to end with nuclear fire, all right. "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." That's right, you ain't be called white anymore. Okay, this is a Christian nation, all right? Well, the Lord is about to anoint you, all right, because that's what Christian means, okay? He's about to anoint your ass, all right, with nuclear fire, all right? Or that's what Christos or Christ means, all right? So these people that are faking the funk, and I ain't even talking about Israelites. I'm talking about you regular Americans, okay? You regular Douglas. You faking the funk. You don't know the scriptures. And when it's provided to you or brought out to you, you scoff and scorn. You talk your shit. Oh, that's your truth. That's your truth. I wasn't raised that way. That's not what I learned. Oh, all that kind of shit, man. Guess what? The Lord is bringing apart at the seams this place. As you know, recently that college basketball, not that it matters, it's not important, but what it does highlight is that the hypocrisy of Esau is being shown on the forefront. Everybody's starting to see Esau for what it truly is, or for what he truly is, okay? We told you that the so-called white woman is the devil. Just because, you know, some brothers might deal with them don't mean shit. Like we're gonna lessen the message because you might deal with an Edomite for what? Still gonna curse the devil out. The devil is the devil, man. Okay, we don't make no bones about that. All right. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna still do our job as commanded if you are sincerely in this truth. If you ain't, you're gonna cut corners. You're gonna do little things to try to, you know, get around the truth, and the Lord is gonna fucking destroy your ass. That should be a message you should be lit. Hey, man, the Lord, if I cut corners, man, the Lord's gonna he gonna lay me down, okay, in the dust right along with this devil. All right. Verse 2, it says, take the millstones and grind the mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. That's right. So the Lord is exposing so many things about Babylon the Great in these last times, man. All right. And this article I'm going to go into, all right, highlights it so much. And for some of you brothers who have been in the military, okay, you understand, because, you know, I've gained a lot of weight since then, but you know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Not that here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? We all struggle with this, within this journey. But hey, look, man, that's no excuse. We're going, you know, every day you strive to get better. You know what I'm saying? You strive to not eat the garbage that they have here. Okay. You strive to not drink the water and bathe. You already got to bathe in this crap. Okay, so there ain't no excuses, man. All right, we take responsibility for our mess ups, but we also understand we in hell too. All right, two things can be correct at the same time. All right, but at the same time, all right, those of you who have been in the military understand that what I'm about to bring out is really crazy, because you know, when you were first coming up, okay. Or at least for me, when I was first coming up, ain't no way in hell they would accept, all right, just any and everybody into the military. You know, you had to have some type of physical fitness. You had to, you had to, you had to really be in shape. You know what I'm saying? And when you got in the military, if they did let you get in, they had something called fat camp. All right, they'll throw your ass in there, and you'll be doing, you'll be doing a bunch of cardio. Okay. While everybody else is doing, just regular exercises, burpees and all that, right? So this is how you know we're at the end of Babylon the Great, all right? Because Babylon is being exposed, man, all right? This is from RT News. It says U.S. Air Force to allow obese recruits. Man, come on. Now, I remember a time when I tried to get into the Air Force. They would not accept me because I had bad credit, yo. Yes, the Air Force, they did credit check. You would think the military would care nothing about that, but they do. Except at least the Air Force did. Now they are accepting obese recruits. And we're going to read this article as to why that mindset has now creeped into the leadership. They understand that they are about to get ready to go into times of war. You're going to need as many bodies as possible. And that means you women, okay, a lot of you ladies, all right, y'all gonna be thrown on the front line. All you Miss Independent, all you tough-minded, all you alpha females, you gonna be thrown on the front line, all right, to defend the country you love, okay? You love this place so much, they gonna give you an M16 rifle, okay? They gonna give you your standard issue BDUs and your boots, and you're gonna go on the front line, and you're gonna have to hit some moving targets. One shot, one kill. All right. This is U.S. Air Force to allow obese recruits from RT News. It says the military branch has reportedly raised its body fat limits of new enlistees and amid struggles to meet recruiting quotas. We told you eventually there's going to be a reckoning with the people in this country, man. They're going to say, you know what? Nah, man. I love America, but I don't want to fight for it. I don't want to die for it. You got people walking around with pink and blue hair, man. Okay? And these people are liberal as hell, man. They ain't trying to fight, man. Hey, Generation Z is not trying to fight for this country. You hear me? It was different. The last real generation that you kind of had that was somewhat have some fighting. They ain't really had no fighting. Then was the millennials. Okay? And that's because college debt was fucking insane. They had no choice. It's still insane. But but Generation Z just ain't going to college. They doing TikTok challenges. Okay, college, the ranks, but you got a nigga woman in the college, but that's the only one in the college. Ain't nobody else. Anyway, I won't be rambling too much. It says the U.S. Air Force has reportedly opted to help ease its recruiting struggles by allowing fatter Americans to join the military branch, making potential millions of obese young people eligible to enlist. Right. Listen, they ain't gonna be particular. They're telling you they're getting ready to go to a draft, y'all. Listen, they're getting ready to go to a draft. If you didn't know, okay? If you didn't know, they're getting ready to go to a draft. And this is further exposing Babylon, all right, for all the hypocrisy, all those years. Now they're talking about they want to bring in, and it's not going to stop there. It's not going to stop there, okay? Just so you understand, it's not going to stop there. All right? Verse 3, Isaiah 47:3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. That's right. So as they're getting ready, they're trying to replenish their military ranks, all right? They're showing that they have a vulnerable spot as to getting people to sign up, just to sign up. Let's get through this article. Under the new guidelines, male recruits will be allowed to carry up to 26% of body fat, while females will have a limit of 36% body fat. Wow. This is reported on Tuesday, citing U.S. Air Force recruiting service spokesman Leslie Brown. The previous limits were 20% for males and 28% for females. I can't stress enough, we are now lowering our standards, Brown said, rather than the Air Force is aligning its rules with the Pentagon directive issued last year. All right, it says the policy document required that all servicemen maintain a level of fitness and body composition to successfully perform all of their duties. That means you have to walk around in hot-ass BDUs, carry them big-ass Kevlars in your backpack. You got to march, okay, for miles and miles. I don't know in the Air Force, you know, we call it the Chair Force for a reason, but whatever. So you have to, in the Army at least, you had to march up to 5 miles, okay? You know, hot, steamy outside, no matter what. They make sure you drink water. You want to drink a lot of water. They're going to make sure of that, okay? It says the American Council on Exercise classifies men with body fat percentages of 25 and higher as obese. It says the obese category begins at 32% for women, allowing obese recruits allowing obese recruits will open up the Air Force to a huge pool of potential enlistees. Now, it didn't say anything about the people who are going to be clamoring to join the military. It didn't say anything about that. All it says, and you got to listen to how Esau says things, right? He says potential enlistees. So that means he gonna come with the stick and the carrot. Okay, the carrot on the stick. He gonna come with that. Hey, look, man, we're gonna pay off your housing. We're gonna do all that. That they sold to the millennials. It worked for a little bit. These Gen Zs is like, fuck it, I'm making more money on TikTok, on YouTube. I don't need your money. But then that's what they're gonna come with that draft, okay? And this is further exposing the devil, okay? And that he can't. Boy, they ain't gonna want to fight. It says it right here. They don't want to fight, man. Okay. This is Jeremiah 51:30, but they love this country though, right? You know, they always out there protesting and all this kind of, the injustices. Well, shit, you know, there's injustices all across the world. Esau's gonna give you the opportunity to carry that M16, man. One shot, one kill, man. This is Jeremiah 51:30. It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women and burned after dwelling places. Her bars are broken. That's right. These people, they ain't trying to hear nothing about no going and fighting, you know, other powers from all over the over the earth, man. They ain't trying to hear that. Okay? They cool where they at, okay? 2 Timothy 3:1, it says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves. Hey, man, look, and that's a big culture in today's world. In today's world, it is inconceivable if you don't love yourself past narcissism. Narcissism is the ground floor. It goes up from there. These people love themselves so much. Like, hey, look, listen, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself to a point. But when you're in love with yourself to the point where you're marrying yourself, you got people doing that out here. People marrying trees and entire oceans. These people are bugged the fuck out, man. All right, it says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. We got a lot of that going on in Israel right now. All right, a lot of disrespectful comments made to elders and apostles, men that have been out here for almost 30, 40 years, okay, and under 20, 15, 10, okay, men that just go about their business, do the work, okay, they don't bother anybody, they just, they're doing their daily walk, they just, go to their job, they come home, they live as a boring life as possible, because it keeps you out of the bullshit that goes on in Babylon the Great. Okay? It says, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, right? We got a lot of that, Amber Heard. It says, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, right? So, hey, when we go on the highways and byways, man, we get so much pushback. Okay, people complaining in the city halls, okay? Traitors, heady, right? You damn Christians, all right? Especially you Baptist Christians down here in the South, man. All right, y'all some proud motherfuckers, man. All right, it says heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. That's right. So they'll allow somebody to say, "Oh, rainbow love, and we should all come together in unity, and blah blah blah, and all that kind of all that golden crisp crap." It says having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. And that's the mindset of the people in Babylon the Great at this time. Every single trait that we just named right here in 2 Timothy 3, all right, this applies to Americans. Now this mindset is throughout the entire world, but where is the beating heartbeat of this type of mindset? It's right here in Babylon. That's why everybody in the world take their cues from Babylon for the most part. And that's why these other countries are starting to fight back, man. All right, Russia's outlining those Bati boys, okay? All right, you got some African countries that are doing the same, okay? Uganda comes to mind, all right? They don't want that Bati boy party in their damn country, man, all right? But Babylon is trying to push that wine on them, okay? And that's why the Lord is preparing, okay, to destroy Babylon the Great, all right? Because he's allowed Babylon to push this mindset on the entire world, and now people are getting pissed off, and they ready to fight America, okay, Babylon the Great, all right? Jeremiah 51:7, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand. It says that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, and now they're looking and licking their chops to do something about it. And hence, Babylon sees this, okay? Babylon sees this, and now they are trying to get their military in rank, in order, right? Just these people are now starting to realize shit's about to get real out here. It says, the U.S. Army and Navy have tried to help address their recruiting woes by offering physical fitness preparatory courses called pre-boot camp. We call them fat camp. It says in the Army's case to give prospects who exceed body fat limits a chance to get in good enough shape to enlist. It says the Air Force has estimated that it will be able to recruit an additional 50 to 100 new enlistees each month under its revised body fat limits. The new hires will later need to pass standard fitness tests, including a requirement for waist to height ratio to stay in the Air Force, right? But eventually that's not going to matter, because guess what? When Russia and China, start to make their move, and America makes their counter move or makes their move, and however this may go, the Lord may have a written this, okay? They're not gonna have the privilege of just letting anybody out of the military. Matter of fact, they're gonna have to open up that draft. That's what they're gonna have to do. This where is this leading? It's leading towards a draft, y'all. Okay. We've been telling y'all. We've been telling y'all where it's going. Okay, you don't want to believe us. All right. It says of 34 million Americans in Generation Z, Those born after 1997, nearly 71% are ineligible, wow, for military service. Nearly 71%, wow. It says most commonly because of obesity, according to 2017 Pentagon data. And you know, here's the hypocrisy within Babylon the Great, right? You know that you're going to need able-bodied men, for the most part, to fight on your behalf to protect your country. But yet you still feed them all this fucking garbage, okay? You still give them dirty water to drink and bad air to breathe in, okay? Hence, a lot of them have asthma real bad, can't run for, and get tired real quick, okay? You do, knowing this, all right, the American government, and yet they still gonna want to. That's how you know they don't give a damn about you. Okay, they don't give a goddamn about their people, man. And I'm talking about the Edomites. They don't give a damn about these Edomites. You're nothing but warm bodies, man. That's it. Useless eaters. All right. It says. Other common disqualifying factors include medical conditions, criminal records, drug use, okay, and failure to earn a high school diploma. All that's going to be done away with. Listen, there's going to be a draft, y'all. I've been every now and then I do a video on this because they come out and they try to sneak this into the media without nobody noticing it. But they come in with a draft, y'all. All of you that are look, because they not going to allow us. They know we ain't going to fight on their behalf. They know that. We speak about them every week, week in and week out. You know what I'm saying? We do lessons every day. They know who we are. But those of you that are able-bodied, that are enjoying the pleasures of being an American, you're going to have to fight for that pleasure too, eventually. And it's going to come via draft, all right? It says the Air Force have estimated that it will miss its recruiting goal, all right, for the year by around 10%. That's a lot. It says, even after taking various steps to attract more enlistees. For instance, it eased rules to allow recruits with neck and hand tattoos. Wow! Where does it sound like it's going, y'all? They pretty much, they ain't gonna care about your poor. They don't care if you're in a wheelchair. They ain't gonna care about none of that. They ain't gonna care if you got a cleft lip. They ain't gonna care if you got a missing foot, a missing toe. Can you reach the can you reach that M16? Can you shoot it? That's all that's gonna matter pretty soon. They're going into a draft, y'all. All right. It says, and it launched a program to give those who test positive for THC a chance to retest. Now I remember, and you brothers who are old enough to remember, you fail that test, that's it. You can't get into any military branch. But now they're saying, well, if you fail because you smoked some weed, hell, if you did some meth, they not gonna care. They gonna start just bringing homeless people off the street. They ain't gonna care. That's where it's headed, y'all. It says recruiting bonuses include up to $65,000 in student loan repayment, and that's how they gonna reel you. A lot of you Edomites in, man. They gonna reel y'all in. Like, look, we're gonna repay your student debt, man. You ain't gotta worry about it. We're gonna take care. We're gonna get you housing. Okay, you are gonna have a steady job. Jeremiah 51:30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. It says, their might have failed. They have become as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. That's right. So, man, look, people of this captivity, Babylon ain't trying to hear nothing about fighting. Okay, the men here in Babylon, and that's let alone the women. Okay, because the women are going, all this female empowerment bullshit is gonna go right out the window. Okay, when it really gets real out here, when dog eat dog really gets real out here, all that female empowerment, all that bullshit is gonna go right out the window. Isaiah 4:1 will be established. Okay, and a lot of the women that are really prideful, they gonna return to a humble state, man. I'm talking the butchers of the butchers dykes. They gonna return to a humble estate. They gonna become meek, quiet, you know, and they're going to do as whatever that man tells them to do. Okay, just for survival, because women are survivalists. All right, this is Jeremiah 30 and 5. It says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." And that's when all hell breaks loose. And then the military gonna need people to be on the front lines. And they gonna snatch a lot of you jakes that's in jail, man. They gonna put a CHIP in you, okay? And they gonna say, look, if you go on the front line, all right, and you fight for us in this war, you'll be granted freedom. You know, Jake gonna take it just to get off death row, out of that life imprisonment. So, hey, look, man, I just wanted to go into this lesson real quick. Because this right here is a sign they headed right to a draft, man. There's no other way around this. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'al Shem Al Shai, Ba'al Shem Muhammad Kadash. Shalom to the elect.